Today on The Social, a Norwegian athlete is making headlines for admitting that he cheated on his girlfriend during a live TV interview. Was this a winning move? And Tori Spelling says she was celibate for 3 years while dating a 90210 castmate. Can a partnership without passion be satisfying? Then, what's it like to be chief of staff to a high-profile leader? Stories from those who worked closely with the likes of Justin Trudeau, Nelson Mandela, and Tony Blair. Plus, we're on a rescue mission with hair expert Jason Lee. Pro tips and must-have products to bring our locks back to life this winter. It all starts now on The Social.
We'd like to welcome to the panel today, for the first time, comedian and host of Crave's docu-travel series, Hockey Fanatics, the one and only Dave Foley is here.
Oh. I'm so glad I tuned in today.
Yes. Welcome to the show. We've had a lot. We were saying we've had a lot of your Kids in the Hall co-stars on the show.
Yes, I know, and yet you're still allowed to broadcast.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, you heard you had Scott Thompson on.
A couple times.
Yeah, really twice. Well, that's on you.
I
You have him on the second time.
You're right.
And you should know what to expect.
Exactly.
So true.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Bruce has been here
many times. Bruce McCullough is one of our faves.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he likes to get out of the house.
So there you go. There you go.
Nice for him.
Great to have you here. Great to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we are going to kick off the show because I think us, like a lot of you, are probably still processing the really devastating news out of the northern community of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. That is where a mass shooting has left 10 people dead, including the suspect. Approximately 25 people have been injured. Now, our Prime Minister, Carney, he ordered flags to be flown at half-mast. He was also visibly emotional speaking to reporters in Ottawa this morning. Take a look.
We will get through this, we will learn from this, but right now it's a time to come together, as Canadians always do in these situations, these terrible situations, to support each other, to mourn together, and to grow together.
Now, a mass killing is a rare event here in this country, thank goodness, but it is important not to speculate as we are still finding out exactly what happened there. But our hearts go out to the victims and also to the entire community. We just want to say that we are grieving along with you. Okay, we're going to turn now to another trending story. As we know, the Winter Olympics are happening in Italy. And after winning the bronze medal in biathlon, Norwegian athlete Sturla Holm Lagred, well, he broke down in a live television interview with Norway's NRK and admitted to cheating on the love of his life. He said he already, quote, had a gold medal up until last week, but squandered it by being unfaithful. And now he has since said he doesn't know if it was a good decision to tell the world about his indiscretions, but wanted his ex to know that he did try everything to get her back. Dave? Is this the way to try to get an ex back?
Well, I think what he let her know is how lucky she is to be away from him.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think this is a good example of how social media has turned the entire population into idiots who don't know that you don't have to live everything in public. Yeah.
It's true. I kind of love this guy, though. Like, there's something, the story is a little bit odd. Yeah. Apparently, he's been in this relationship for 6 months. Then 3 months ago, he cheated on her. But this only came to light like a week ago. So the timeline is a little confusing. I initially had thought that maybe he had an indiscretion while he was at the Olympic Village, was celebrating, made a bad choice.
And that's mandatory.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
not allowed in the
That's
Olympic
right.
Village.
So, yeah,
unless
you're
you're
back.
Yeah.
But the gesture, here's what I like about it, is that he was trying to make amends, and also I think it gives an example for people in the public who, many of whom, like think about that guy who was on the Jumbotron. What was that guy's name? Who was caught cheating with that woman? I think his name was Andy Byron. That guy never has apologized to anyone, as far as I know, publicly. In this case, I think there is something about saying to the world, I love this person, I made a wrong decision, and for everyone in the world to know that he is acknowledging that, as opposed to like gaslighting someone and saying like, no, that didn't happen, I'm never acknowledging it.
That was my ex.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I have to say, I started by being very sympathetic to him, and I was like, you know what, it's so refreshing to see a man in sports not be all testosterone, and was like, he was being emotional and open. And then when I kept watching the clip over and over again, I was like, oh no.
No, well, there's emotional, then there's emotionally unstable.
It's not only unstable,
Yeah.
he is dragging his ex into the public eye without her consent.
Yes.
And this is the ultimate breaking of boundaries and trust.
Yes.
So no, bro, no.
Yeah. You know what? I've been cheated on. And you know the number one thing I think is worse than being cheated on? The cheater telling the entire world that you cheated on me.
Yeah.
Because and then you're adding, like, he's giving her two piles of, like, pressure to take him back, or the embarrassment if she does take him back, to be like, oh, you got back with the cheater that you were dating for 6 months. But I think cheaters need to understand this. There are two things going on for the cheating. There's the thing that you did, there's the actual intercourse of the relationship that you had, and then there is the mask that you wore while you were doing it. It's the lies that you told me to my face, it's the dinners we went to, it's the time you hung out with my best friend, walked my dog, went on vacation. Meanwhile, you were texting and having a relationship with somebody else. And then I found out, and now you want me to just forget about this fake person that you were with me, and I'm supposed to take you back because you told some reporter after you just won bronze. First of all, win gold, and then maybe I'll think about it. But it's just one of those things where I think they need to understand, it's like, this is not what you do, it's your behavior afterwards, not you doing these big grand gestures that really are more about you than her, because she obviously doesn't like it. She told People magazine, this is, what he did was hard to forgive, and I don't want to be known, and this is making it even harder. So congratulations, so you made it worse.
Yeah, he
Good
did.
for you.
Yeah.
And good luck to his next girlfriend. All right, so let's move on to our next story. According to Time magazine, the internet's new favorite insult is, did AI write that? It's basically suggesting to someone that they don't sound human enough. So is it an insult or a compliment? Audience? You're on the fence. You're on the fence on this one.
I really resent it when I'm in the middle of writing an email or a text to someone and then AI suddenly says, like, well, is this what you want to write? I'm like, you haven't even gotten correctly the technology around, like, a voice to text. They're always screwing up, like, messing up what you're trying to say. Fix that first before you say. To me, what the subtext is like, I can feel almost all the tech bros in the room and their investment, and they're like, come on, you need this. You need this. And I'm like, step off.
It's a sales job that I didn't ask for.
I hate it. You like it?
No. Well, AI is terrifying in so many ways. But I think to me the big thing with the people saying, did AI write this as a put down? It takes me back to the olden days of talk to the hand and too much information. And,
TMI.
Yeah, and so if you're using whatever the public domain put down is at the moment, you don't have a right to criticize anyone. Because you're not interesting.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think in a weird way, it's kind of a backhanded compliment, depending on what you do. I think if you are a professional writer, this is definitely an insult. But say you just put together a really good resume or a bio or something, I think that you can kind of go, oh, you thought that AI did this? Oh, thank you, it's just me. But I had this, when I wrote my book, I had a lot, this is before ChatGPT and AI, I had so many people come up to me and go, so did you write it? And I was like, yeah, I sat down and I wrote it. That's how you write a book. They thought that I was famous enough to have a ghostwriter. Girl, God bless those people. I'm like, you think the publisher was gonna pay for a ghostwriter for me? I'm like, no, I had to sit down in the hot bedroom of my parents' house and just write it out. But I took it as a compliment because they're like, oh, that's a lot of hard work. And I think it says more about them, or maybe they don't think that they could do it, so they're questioning, like, you could do that? So take it as a compliment.
It's a compliment,
you know what? I would say again, you got social media making everyone live like a celebrity, and you've got AI that gives everyone a ghostwriter now.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
So technology
but I will say, I'm not going to blame. I think it is a diss, or could be a diss, but just the same way that we have filters now on all the apps, it's because our life on social media and everything we do is so public-facing now. And as soon as you put something out there, it is open for everybody to judge and criticize. And I think if you're not confident in your writing and you rely a little bit on AI, I understand that, because it's like the filter. And then you don't have to be judged like people like me, because guess what? I do judge people's writing on social media. If you don't know how to use certain words properly, or you know, so I saw this meme and I had to repost it because everything these days goes back to Bad Bunny and the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Bad Bunny is performing in Spanish, and I don't understand that language. Relax. We've seen your posts and the way you confuse there, then, it's your. And we're not sure you understand English.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's people like me. I judge you. So you know what? Go ahead and use AI.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That person...
And best halftime show ever.
Oh, correct.
Ever.
Correct.
So true.
Up next, everybody, 9021 No. Tori Spelling is telling us she was celibate for 3 whole years while she was dating a 90210 castmate. So can a partnership without passion actually be fulfilling? Do you need sex in the relationship? Do ya? All right, well, we'll debate after the break.
Tomorrow on The Social, does clipping coupons and bulk buying really save you money? Money expert Melissa Leong drops by to bust some grocery-saving myths. This week on The Social, looking for love with a sixth sense. Psychic matchmaker Deborah Graham tells us how she plays Cupid.
So it's February, Love Day is coming, March break next month. If you're going to be in the Toronto area, we would love to see you here live in studio. You can get tickets for the loved ones in your life to join, right? And we have a good time in here, don't we?
We do.
We do. So we'd love to see you live in studio. Scan the QR code that's on the screen with your camera.
Okay, I'm taking things into the bedroom now. So the question is, can a celibate relationship be satisfying? Tori Spelling thinks so. So the actor apparently revealed on her 90210 MG podcast that she and co-star Vincent never had sex throughout their 3-year relationship. She says he told her he was too nervous because he was working for her dad, 90210 producer Aaron Spelling. So can a sexless relationship be fulfilling?
We don't have...
Okay, so through my lens, the answer is a hard no.
Well,
because...
you wish it would be a hard something. Yeah.
Toss that up for you.
Yeah.
I don't know why she would call this relationship anything other than a friendship. So then just call him the friend. Now, I'm not saying it has to be for sex for everybody, but can we go back in time? They were 24 years old at the time. You know, if you're in a new I remember being in a new relationship at 24.
Yeah.
You're just horny all the time.
Yes.
How are you not having sex all the time? Look at them. They're young, they're hot, they're rich, they're beautiful, and no sex.
And he tried to claim it was because he worked for her dad. 24, you're that hot, you're 24 years old. I would have sex with her dad in the room with a gun.
Wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Wouldn't matter.
No, there's nothing stopping me when I'm 24 years old.
All right, but let's take for a second. I'm going to take this side. Okay, you're right. In your 20s, when your hormones are bouncing all over the place, this sounds ridiculous. But I feel like I'm turning the corner to a time where I'm like, if I found a partner who has, you know, good knees, good back, can walk upstairs, can look down, see the top of his belt, but his libido's real low, but he likes to go to nice restaurants, I'm not saying no to that guy.
Yeah.
I think there's a time in your life where it's like, you know what, we don't have to have sex. Can we have separate bedrooms as well? And we can just meet and do stuff?
There are lots and lots of long-term couples in sexless marriages, and they are happy, and they will say that. And I think that's fair. But they did have sex
but at
once.
24?
And
Not at 24. Not at 24.
Yeah, like, for example, Vincent Price.
Oh, interesting reference.
Reference.
Say,
Okay.
had married for a very, very long time, 50, 60 years, they never, no children.
But wasn't he in the closet?
He's gay. He was gay.
He was gay. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm
So
also
I think-
open to doing that, too. I'll marry a gay man. That's fine with me, too.
Yeah, I think she may have had a lovely gay friend.
Yes.
happy.
I mean, she said he's great with interior design.
She did.
That should have been
And
that should have been the clue.
There are about 3 straight men in the world that can be said of.
Yes. Yeah. And none of them are in this room. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. Valentine's Day is just a few days away, and at least one person is absolutely dreading it. A woman wrote to the advice columnist at Slate saying, I'm a secretary in my late 50s and dread each Valentine's Day. All the young, cute women in the office are inundated with flowers, chocolates, and other gifts, while us older women just get jacked. So would it be inappropriate for me to speak to HR and request that Valentine's gifts are not displayed at work? Dave, I'm going to throw this one to you. What do you think should be done?
Well, I approach this from the standpoint of being an older person myself.
Okay.
And I have to say that she should grow up.
Yeah.
Stop whining.
Thank you.
Because if she thinks about it, she'll remember that when she was in her 20s, she didn't care about old people either.
No,
It's their turn.
Yes.
It's young people's turn.
Yeah. I think this says more about her, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I think she sounds, is there an equivalent for a Grinch, like for Valentine's Day? She's the Grinch.
Yeah.
I worked in an office for years, and I have worked. I've never actually seen this, though, this like barrage of sort of suddenly Valentine's gifts happening. So that's where I'm wondering, is this kind of a newer thing where everyone's then also doing it for the gram? Like they're telling their boyfriend or partner, and then and that I could see, if you're in an office and you're trying, it could be annoying. If everyone's like pulling out their phone, look what I got, blah, blah, blah.
I'll take flowers any way I can get them. For the gram, not for the gram, I don't care. I'm good with the flowers. But you know what this story actually reminded me of? There was actually this woman that I was friends with, and she had a teenage daughter who had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was very romantic, and he was always doing these types of things, buying her flowers, bringing them to school for her birthday, Valentine's Day, and her mother really didn't like it. And she even made a comment once. Her daughter had a little stuffy bear on her bed, and she was like, I want to throw that thing out so badly. And I was like, why are you so angry? So finally, the daughter got tired of her mom's little snide remarks. She goes, well, it's funny. I've lived here my whole life, and I've never seen Dad buy you a flower or take you out to dinner, so I think you're jealous. And I was like, whoa. So I think there's always, when someone's so bothered by someone receiving love and happiness, I'm like, I think that's speaking more about what's going on in your life, darling.
I think we should just be, she should be celebrating that young people are out and dating face to face.
Yes.
That they're getting off the text, that they're getting off the apps, that they actually are having maybe sex, just not Tori spelling. Like there is something that the old school thing that we used to use, kids, ask your parents what these mean. Courting. I'm not talking pickleball. I'm not talking tennis. There was a thing called courting. There was a thing called wooing. There was a thing called dating. You know, and you see where I'm building up to this? I thought that that was a lost art. I didn't know that this was still happening in dating.
There was a thing called last call.
There was a thing called last call. Where's that?
Where happened to that?
You know what I'm saying?
Is there no romance left?
Correct. There is no more fun left.
When,
So
when two people at the end of the night would look at each other and say, well, we're all that's left.
The good old days. The good old days.
Okay, that's where we go. It's time for a break, everybody. All right, and then we're going to be talking about this. Should Team Canada's hockey team stay at a hotel for a good night's sleep or live it up in the Olympic dorms like the rest of the athletes? So it's a fun one. We're going to debate. Hotel, Olympic Village, gold medal on the line. We'll discuss after this. Welcome back to the show, everybody. So we already know that there was a heated rivalry between the Canadian, not like that, but between the Canadian and U.S. Olympic men's hockey teams. But now it has actually reached the bedroom. The Americans, they've decided they will embrace dorm life in the Olympic Village. But according to Sportsnet, the Canadian team, well, they're considering staying in a 5-star hotel because they want a good night's sleep. Should the Canadian men's hockey team stay in the Village or the hotel to give them the best shot at winning?
Hotel.
Dave?
Hotel.
Dave?
Hotel.
Yeah.
First off, they're rich. NHL players aren't like when I was a kid. They're rich, rich men. And you know, they still share rooms when they go on the road. They still have roommates in the hotels, which I don't get.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have to go. And besides, Team USA, win or lose, maybe it'll make the news in the US.
Yeah.
Canada loses this, the entire country goes into mourning.
Correct.
They are disgraced for life.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're right.
Too
There's a
much on
lot
the
of
line.
pressure.
Yeah, the Americans, you know, let's face it, there's a good chance if they're in the village, the American team would roofie them.
Well,
I don't trust those people.
there you go. I'm going to quote Parker Posey's character from The White Lotus when she says, I just don't think at this age I'm meant to be living an uncomfortable life. Which is the adult way of saying, I'm too old to be in a single bed with a roommate and with thin walls and listening to everybody like we're in some kind of dorm. I'm not doing it. I'll put down my own money and stay at a nice hotel so I can get a good night's sleep so I can win the gold.
Yeah.
Right? It makes more sense.
I also think we all know that athletes are very superstitious. They all have superstitions. So if we go back to the 2010 Olympics, if we go back to the 2014 Olympics, I'm going to tell you two things. Not only did the men's hockey teams, which is the last time that NHL players were allowed to play in the Olympics, they stayed in a hotel in 2010. They stayed in a hotel in 2014. You know what else happened in 2010 and 2014? We won gold both times.
So it's hotel.
Oh, so it's like a tradition.
So listen, and by the way, we say them. It's actually they call it a leadership call. It's the bosses that are going to make the call. And quite frankly, I wouldn't want the temptation of the guys partying. We need gold in hockey in this country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Period.
Listen, I agree with you, and I would do the same thing. I don't want to live an uncomfortable life, but I guess for the sake of argument, there are those people who say that it's an unfair advantage, perhaps, that if everyone else has to stay in the village, are you setting an example that sort of puts you aside, puts you above? It's true. It is a little bit of an inequity going on there.
Fair point. The Americans had the choice to also be in a hotel. They chose to stay in the village.
Okay.
So that's number one. And quite frankly, whatever is going to make them tired, partied out, hungover, go ahead, American team.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Team Canada is not our hockey team isn't competing against the Norwegian luge team. Every other hockey team is made up of NHL players.
Yes.
Right. So they've all. So there's money on all around for people to be.
I know.
Spend the money. Get some room service. Get a robe. Get a massage. Go to the spa. Go to the pool.
Yeah.
What are we in a single bed? Who's doing that?
I also think, I know Olympic Village sounds like a ton of fun, but we're talking about the top NHL players in the world. When they walk around the village, it's not just like, oh, hey, there's Sidney Crosby. It's Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
They will be attacked the way that anybody would attack Sidney Crosby.
I would attack. If I saw Sidney Crosby in the hallway,
you would.
I shoot my shot.
I want the selfie.
Wow.
She shoots, she scores.
Wow.
For sure. I didn't even think about that part.
I'm going to send a letter to Sidney Crosby. Let him know.
Let him know. I'll be walking the hallway. I'll be on the 5th floor, Sidney.
He'll be booking his ticket to Toronto right away. Yeah.
Speaking of hockey, Dave, you are the host of an exciting new series on Crave, and it is called Hockey Fanatics.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about this show, and also I hear you got some big names featured in here. What's this all about?
Well, it's kind of what the name implies. It's about the people, mostly about the people that love hockey, and it's going from NHL town to NHL town and meeting the people, exploring the cities that they live in, and learning about the traditions of the teams, if there is a tradition. In the case of Utah, there wasn't, because we got there as the team arrived, pretty much, from Phoenix. But it's about what the teams mean to the town and the people and the fans, and that's the focus of it. And I got to talk to some legends and got to bring along some friends and meet some new people.
Like Mike Myers. One of them.
Yeah.
Who else is in it?
Mike Myers. Well, Jason Priestley's in there. Scott Bakula did it with us. Shania. Oh my God.
Twain?
No, not Shania Twain. Oh, can you edit live television?
The beauty of it.
Winona Judd. There, I thought.
There you go.
I'm an old man.
No.
That's great.
Yeah. Winona, she came out to watch the game with us in Nashville.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. We can't wait to watch it. And for the first time here, I hope that this is not the last. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of fun. Okay, we want to tell you all 8 episodes of Hockey Fanatics are available right now to stream on Crave, so be sure to check it out. That's a ton of fun. Let's take a break, and then on the other side, we've got the author of The Right Hand, who's going to share fascinating conversations with the chiefs of staff of the world's most powerful people. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Behind every world leader is a hard-working chief of staff, but we don't often get to hear their stories. Our next guest wanted to change that.
Well, from Justin Trudeau to Nelson Mandela to Tony Blair, she spoke with the chiefs of staff of some of the most high-profile leaders of our time. It is all laid out in her brand new book. It is called The Right Hand. Good title. Please welcome author Phoebe Saint-Elin-Stocks. Welcome. Thank you. Great title.
Phoebe, we really do tend to fixate on famous leaders rather than the people who work for them. So why did you want to flip that script?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, I was a political nerd and pretty much always just watched The West Wing and House of Cards and Veep. And for me, the roles that I was drawn to was the chief of staff, like the Leo McGarry, because I always thought they're so powerful and influential and are the second, most powerful person in government, but we don't know anything about them. And a lot of the time we don't know their names. Like even in Australia where I'm from, a lot of people probably wouldn't know who the chief of staff is. And so I ended up working at Prime Minister and Cabinet in Australia and met my first chief of staff. And then a year later, I run a women's media company in Australia, and we got a follower on Instagram who was Katie Telford, who we were just talking about. And she is Justin Trudeau's longtime chief of staff. They've worked together for well over 10 years now. And Katie and I got to know each other, and it was just the way she spoke about Justin that made me realise the relationship is so unique. And she really knows him in a way that not many people do, and that's where the idea came from. And yeah.
And she happens to be a whip smart.
We love her.
Yes.
She's pretty amazing.
Here's the thing that I think all of us could probably understand a little bit, which is this is a very high stress job.
Yeah.
Extremely stressful. In fact, Tony Blair's former chief of staff, Jonathan Powell, described to you the job as, quote, an egg and spoon race on hot coals and broken glass for 1,000 miles. Yes. Okay. So, I mean, what did you learn about the actual pressures of this role?
That I could never do it. The hours are not for the faint-hearted, but a lot of them kind of said it's like sprinting a marathon, because you're kind of, in a way, at the whim of a president or prime minister and having to act as an extension of them as well. But I would say also the toll that it takes on your personal life and your family, because you give so much to the role. And Jacinda Ardern's chief of staff, Raj, he spoke to me about how he had 2 young daughters, and he had a rare Sunday off work, and he took them to a birthday party, and the 2 girls jumped in the pool and were swimming. And he realised he'd missed that milestone of them learning how to swim. And for him, it was him realising the toll that it does take. So it's an incredibly demanding role. But I think that's what also makes it really fascinating in a way.
I mean, chiefs of staff definitely get a front row seat to some of the kind of quirks and characteristics of world leaders. Did any stories stand out to you of the quirks of the world leaders?
But that's what I love about interviewing chiefs of staff, because I kind of know this human better than anyone. And through the interviews, I really got to learn stories about their bosses that aren't really picked up in the news. And a story I loved was Nelson Mandela's chief of staff, Barbara Masekela, who is this amazing woman in her late 80s now. And she kind of spoke to me about the impact that they got to see up close of Mandela being in prison for nearly 30 years. Wow. And he was in prison for so long that when he was released, he had missed the credit card revolution. So he still, as president, carried around coins because he didn't understand the concept of credit cards.
Wow.
And I kind of had to say, you're president, so don't carry around coins, but also we have these credit cards now, so you don't even need cash. So stories like that, but also Mandela's team kind of joked that he was really vain and would take ages to get to meetings because he'd be in the mirror like fixing his hair. So stories like that. Also, Katie Telford told me Trudeau doesn't drink coffee. So he did the 10 years as Prime Minister not consuming caffeine, which is crazy.
Yes.
So stories like that, and then another story. So I could talk forever on this, but Tony Blair's chief of staff walked through the day that Princess Diana died, and they had to get a hold of Tony Blair, who was on a family holiday, and had to get a policeman to break into his house and wake him up.
Wow.
So crazy stuff like that you just don't get in the news headlines.
Wow. Well, because of just how close these folks have to work together, we know it is a professional relationship. But, but there's so much I don't want to use the word intimacy because people are going to think the wrong thing. There's a closeness to the information. And you said once that it was Justin Trudeau and his former chief of staff, Katie Telford, who we talked about. So you write that they could communicate with eye contact alone, just like through their eyes, like read each other's minds. So are these business relationships also friendships?
It's interesting because out of the chiefs of staff I interviewed, there was one camp who were adamant that they weren't friends because they were kind of saying, particularly Tony Blair's chief of staff, you know, he was kind of saying, if we're really good friends, I can't give him frank advice and be blunt. But even then, with Tony Blair and his chief of staff, Jonathan would wear Blair's hand-me-down clothes. So where it's like, you are friends at the end of the day. That's my 2 cents. But then there are people like Katie Telford, where her and Trudeau, particularly since he's left office, really do see each other as friends now. I mean, I can't speak on her behalf, but that's just what I've observed with all of the chiefs.
You also spoke with Kamala Harris's former chief of staff. That was Sheila Nix, about her time working and then eventually losing the presidential campaign against Trump. What was that experience like from her perspective?
Yeah, and what's fascinating about Sheila is that she, before working for Kamala, was Jill Biden's chief of staff. And before that, Bono's, which is a whole other story.
Wow.
But yeah, Bono, we love you too.
Wow.
But yeah, Sheila, why I love chatting to her, and I think we did our interview in the aftermath a few months after the election. And she really, from her chapter, you really get an insight into what that loss was like from the perspective of someone who was working the closest to Kamala Harris. And she was with Kamala the night of the election and really spoke to, what it was like being on a 107-day campaign as a chief of staff, but then also seeing your boss losing in such a monumental way in an election where the stakes were so high. And I think she was saying her son's wedding was like the next week, so she just kind of had to pick herself up and do her son's wedding. But then also pick up your leader again and keep them going and focused. So yeah, I loved interviewing her.
You spoke to some chiefs of staff who said they were still in recovery from their time in their role, which you can sort of understand. So what does the aftermath kind of look like for those who step away from this job?
Yeah, I think it's a very traumatic end to the role. And I think it was Tony Blair's chief of staff, Jonathan, who said that people suggested he get therapy before he started wrapping up the role to prepare himself for the other side. Because I think when he wrapped up, a bombing happened in London the next day, and he just kind of reached for his phone and was so used to having to deal with the situation. But yeah, Jacinda Ardern and her chief of staff and a bunch of the others kind of said you are in recovery mode for a long time because it's such a demanding role. And I think the majority of chiefs in the book were chiefs of staff during the COVID pandemic, which that would not have been for the faint-hearted. And I think that's also why they're bonded with their boss for life too.
Yeah. Now you say that you see this book as a call to action. Why do you say that?
Yeah, I mean, I love a happy ending. We all need that right now. But I've been working on the book for 3 years. So it was a very long project and so much happened in the world over those 3 years. And we've seen increased, misinformation, social polarization. And it just so happened that the last interview I did was with Mandela's chief of staff. And I put to her, what keeps you optimistic in times like these? And she kind of said, it's the next generation rising up that really inspires her. And I just loved that. And that's why I wanted the book to kind of be an insight into these types of roles and kind of expand the remit of what leadership looks like, but also inspire the next generation coming up through the ranks to consider roles like these and go into government.
Wow.
Phoebe, thank you so much for inspiring us today. So the book is called The Right Hand. You can find it everywhere now. And studio audience, you're all going home with your copy today. And we're going to be right back with tips on how to save our hair from this harsh winter. Don't go anywhere.
From dullness to dryness to breakage, Canadian winters can really do a number on our hair. Luckily, our next guest is here to help.
So he's here with pro tips and the must-have products to bring our hair back to life this season. Please welcome back to the show, hair expert Jason Lee.
Good to see you.
Okay, so Jason, we're going to present you with a number of winter hair problems today, and you're going to give us a fix. My biggest issue right now, and I feel like I'm not alone, is dryness. What is the main cause?
So believe it or not, that lack of moisture that we experience in our hair in the wintertime doesn't necessarily come from the cold air outside. In fact, it really comes from that forced heating in our homes, offices, and indoor spaces. And we're really around that 24/7. It causes our hair to feel dry. It doesn't have any movement or pliability to the hair. So we really have to focus in on nourishing, hydrating, and moisturizing. So I have two solutions for you today. Okay. And we're gonna start off here with the OGX Nourishing Plus Coconut Milk Shampoo and conditioner. Your shampoo and conditioner is always your foundation.
Okay.
What I love about this is that it's going
to smell so good.
Always smells
like a vacation.
This is going to help to replenish hydration into your hair. And as soon as you use it for the first time, you're going to immediately experience softer hair.
Okay, we like that.
Are there any other keywords to look out for besides nourishing when it comes to choosing a shampoo and conditioner for dry hair?
Totally. Well, I think it's really important that we understand when we're buying hair care products what we're trying to buy. So 3 terms to look at. Nourishing, first of all, means that there's an ingredient in that product that's going to help feed your hair, an ingredient that it needs, okay? Then if you think about hydrating, hydrating simply means that it's going to push a water molecule towards that hair shaft. That's what hydrating means. And to moisturize, that's having the hair shaft lock in that water molecule. So 3 really important things to know when it comes to buying hair care products.
Wow, that was very informative. All right, so I also experience a lot of dryness in my hair during the winter months, and I understand you have tips to help us lock in that moisture right after a shower. What is the big tip?
So my second solution here that we were going to start off with is the OGX coconut milk anti-breakage hair serum.
Okay.
What's great about this product is that it's also going to have coconut milk, it has oil, as well as...
really good.
It smells really good.
Oh my gosh.
And it has a whipped egg white in it, which is going to help nourish that hair.
I want to eat it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
So good.
So good, it does.
Great for all hair types, exactly what you're doing. Work it in from the mid-shaft to the ends, and it's going to help your hair in the wintertime.
Okay, so what would you recommend for people who have super dry hair?
So anybody who has that thick, coarse, dry hair knows that you need a bit of an oil. So here we have Amika's Water Sign Hydrating Hair Oil. This is a great hair oil because it uses hyaluronic acid, and hyaluronic acid is a very lightweight ingredient that pushes that water molecule towards the hair, but it also has squalene, jojoba, coconut, and castor oil, so it's gonna really help to hydrate that hair and moisturize it. Exactly what you guys are doing, work it mid-shaft to the ends and continue.
And then just leave it? Just leave it on?
Well, you want to, I would style it afterwards. So this is a great product on wet hair.
Well, I just feel like you can look like a greasy
and 1,000%. So you want to do this before you blow dry the hair, exactly what you're saying. Now, if you have curly hair, like myself, we know that people that in the wintertime, our curl pattern just is not defined. We need that moisture in there that we get sometimes in the spring, summer. But here's a fantastic product. It's in my hair right now. This is Patterns Moisture Milk for Curls and Coils. It's available at Sephora Canada. And what's great about this is that it has shea butter as well as glycerin, 2 very important products to help, ingredients to help moisturize the hair. It's great. It redefines that curl pattern. It's an incredible product. It's soft, but it also helps to style the hair.
Love it.
Okay, we're going through the issues. The next issue a lot of us are experiencing is breakage. And so what is happening there?
So think about it this way. Your hair is rough, it's dry in the winter. Then we have day-to-day friction, right? You're taking off scarves, you're taking off hats, and there's that constant rubbing that's actually breaking your hair in the wintertime. So what we need is some kind of protective treatment. So here we have Olaplex, and this is Olaplex's Nourishing Mask. I would use this once to twice a week after you're shampooing. Let it sit in for about 10 minutes. Again, on first use, you're going to experience 2 times the amount of hydration. It's great for fine to medium hair. Now, then, this is a product that I use all the time in the salon. This is Olaplex's number 6 Bond Smoother. This is great to blow dry your hair with. Okay, so you work it through.
I want to know when we use it. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Fair enough, fair enough. Work it mid-shaft through the ends. And what it's going to do, because it has this coconut-derived emollient, and an emollient makes your hair feel softer. Okay, just if you ever hear that word, you blow dry with it, and your hair has some pliability to it, makes it easier to blow dry with.
Yeah, that feels so good. All right, so let's talk dullness. That's next. It's a big issue for a lot of people. So what is the main culprit here? Why is our hair so dull in the winter?
Okay, so when you get shine in your hair, it's because your hair has a smooth surface for light to reflect off of. That's what shine looks like. Okay. But in the wintertime, our hair's coarse, it's dry, it doesn't have a smooth surface. And unfortunately, there's not that much sunlight in the wintertime, so you don't get that shine. So what you need is a shine enhancer.
Okay.
Here we have Now listen, if you know, you know. This is Color Wow's Dream Coat product. Yes, this is a hugely popular product. This one, on wet hair, you spray generously through the hair and you're gonna go section by section to blow dry. You use it generously, but the thing is that it actually lasts for 2 to 3 shampoos. Okay?
No way.
So it's not like you're using
good.
too much. And then what's cool about this is that it has a heat-activated polymer, and when you blow dry, it's actually going to compress that hair, is what's going to make it super shiny and healthy. This product is a massive, successful product, and it's a great product to use. I use it all the time.
Okay.
So what if you want some shine and you don't want to blow dry? Like I'm super lazy, like you
Sure.
just, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I think that's something that everybody always asks me, what's that product I can use in my hair that I don't have to do much with? Here we have R&Co. This is their High Dive Moisture and Shine Cream. This is that product, if you have a little bit of texture in your hair, that you can put in and let it air dry.
Okay.
Okay, everybody always asks for that. What's great about it, it has humectants and emollients, so it's gonna make your hair shiny and it's gonna air dry as well.
Okay, and we're using about like just like a
Exactly,
little, a
just-
dime.
Oh, that is good.
Totally,
too.
depending on your hair type, how much hair you have, you know. If you have fine hair, don't overuse it.
Okay.
We're gonna walk out with all
I
the
know.
things in our hair today. We're gonna look
Try stuff.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about you ladies or you, Jason, but my #1 problem in the winter is static. So what is your pro tip to deal with this?
Right, so static is caused because there's no moisture in the air and our hair has a natural electric charge. And so it can't be released. And therefore, what happens, you take off your scarf and your hair starts to go staticky. So here's a really quick and easy DIY, a fabric softener sheet, right? You swipe it along your hair and that's gonna help tame some of that static.
You just like do like
Just
this?
like that, yep. And you can carry this around in your bag, in your purse, and if you're out, you can, pull that and use it.
That's a brilliant idea. You guys didn't know that, did you? That's brilliant.
Smells nice.
All right, yeah, it does smell
Smells
nice.
nice.
And it's also easy to carry. All right, so what is the go-to fix, the go-to salon fix for static?
So I love this product right there. You can spray it out if you want. It's a spray. It's called R&Co Foil.
Spray that.
Again, a lovely finisher, lightweight, and it's going to help with anti-static.
Oh, it smells nice too. You smell that?
And then if you want that one product that's
that's
going to do
good.
everything that we talked about, at the end we have Pop and Locks High Glass Shine, and it's going to do shine, gloss, as well as tame any static. It's a great product. I use it all the time.
Okay, so we would just put that all on right at the end. Look at
Yes.
everyone.
Sorry, we're in the salon,
honey. So good.
We're in the
Thank you
salon.
so much for rescuing our hair. So good. Okay, if you would like to catch all of Jason's great tips again, just head to our YouTube channel after the show and don't go anywhere because we're going to be right back.
There's never a dull moment at The Social.
We are going to have one heck of a time.
With hot takes and fiery debates.
I'm too old for Leonardo DiCaprio anyway.
We dive headfirst into juicy conversations.
Where are his wild oats now?
No topic is too messy.
I'm gonna blame all of the boyfriends that I've had.
No discussion too heated.
That is an invasion, in my opinion.
Just real talk and fresh opinions. Watch The Social, weekdays at 2 p.m. on CTV.
All right, tomorrow on The Social, we've got sommelier Natalie McLean back. She is going to show us wines that you're going to want to swipe right on for Valentine's Day. Also, we'll be getting a sneak peek at a brand new documentary film about the rise and impact of the skincare brand The Ordinary and its controversial founder, Brandon Truax. I can barely speak because I just have like hair product wafting in my
but your
face.
hair looks fabulous.
Thank you. So does yours.
Thank you. I'm like,
Thank you.
Never looked better.
So does yours. Big thank you to all of our guests. I can't believe that was Dave Foley's first time ever on our show.
I know.
He's funny.
Big thanks to Dave and to Phoebe and to everybody who joined us today. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Take care, everybody.